Hey, what's going on? Blast of the Stash at episode 50. This is Trinity Comics filling in for Huey's Comic Hideout. We got some special guests on the panel tonight. We got some out sick. Some went camping. Let's start off with our first guest. We got Alex the Comic Hoarder. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, Trinity. Glad to be here on episode 49.1.
You got your movie quote ready, man?
I do. So it's a conversation between two people. And it's softball season. It's spring, so I'm going to throw you up a lob here. An easy softball here for you guys. So the first character says, I'm leaving this galaxy for one a little less complicated. I thought you said you valued life again. I do. I think maybe I'll create some. Did you like my acting too? That was good acting.
Yep.
Did you say it?
The Watchmen.
Yep, Watchmen.
How did you know?
All right, next up we got Drew Manchu. What's going on, Drew?
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man.
Happy to be here.
You got your movie quote ready?
Yeah. Conversation between two characters. First says, they wouldn't let me play on the tour anymore. Second one says, oh, why? Because you're black? Says, no, damn alligator bit my hand off.
I know it.
Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
There you go.
Nice. All right, Mike, you're up.
All right, I am not a guest. I am permanently fixated to this channel. And my quote is not from a comic book movie. Well, I guess it might be. I'm not too sure. I don't know. But here we go anyway. It was not my intention to do this in front of you. For that, I am sorry. But you can take my word for it. Your mother had it coming. When you grow up, if you still feel raw about it, I'll be waiting.
Kill Bill.
It is Kill Bill. Thank you.
All right, so I guess that just leaves me. All right, my movie quote goes, I'm looking at the stars. They're so far away and their light takes so long to reach us. All we ever see of the stars is their old photographs.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What did you say, Drew?
And that Watchmen as well?
That is the Watchman, yeah. I'm not trying to rip you off, Alex. I had that way.
I was hoping we'd have the same exact quote.
No.
That would have been good.
All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and let our esteemed guest start us off. Alex, you go ahead and get your first book.
Oh, man. All these to choose from. I'm going to choose... let's go... Oh, my gosh. Okay, let's just go Superman. Superman 23. Start off... I've been really liking Superman. Right now, there's Jonathan's been missing, and you've got the neighbor, the old guy. Trying to find a good picture of him. He's got Lois. He's got Lois captured, and so Superman gets upset and has to come save the day. But they're trying to find Jonathan, and then at the end, you see Jonathan's being held by. It's not much of a spoiler alert because I think it was in the last. I really do like that cover. This is the one that I picked up.
Yeah, I like this black and white and red.
Yeah.
That's sick. I got the Jonathan cover too. That's the one I picked up.
But yeah, he's being held by, I guess, spoiler alert real quick. If you don't want to know, just mute it for like 2 seconds. But he's held by Manchester Black. And Manchester Black, if you want to know where his first appearance is, I saw this on Doom's channel a couple weeks ago, and then when I was hunting, I actually called some of the guys up, and we were like FaceTiming in the comic shop, and it's Action Comics 775. So there's the cover of first Manchester Black. So yeah, it's Superman right now is a Tom Selleck stash for me.
A Tom Selleck stash. Hashtag that shit. Tom Selleck stash.
All right, Drew, I think you read that book too, huh?
Yeah, this is definitely a stash as well. I absolutely loved it. I love the fact that they brought back Manchester Black. Love the fact that they rebranded the Super Elite, and it's such a creepy premise that they want to raise John right because Superman is weak and he can't do it. And that's like the whole thing is like they want to abduct his son basically and adopt him and make him the leader of the super elite. And Manchester Black's a great villain, and I like his redesign too. I thought the art was great. Absolutely love this book. Super stash.
Mike, I don't believe you picked that up, did you? Or did you read it?
I did pick it up. I have not read it yet.
Okay, well, I picked it up and I did read it, and I agree with everything you guys said. It's a stash for me. You know, going into Rebirth, I wasn't even really a big Superman like comic fan. You know, I liked him in the movies and stuff, but I never really read him in the comics. And
Same here.
So I started off with Rebirth, and I really dig this. Superman has been pretty great for me. So yeah, it's a stash. So I guess we're going ahead and move on since nobody else got it. Drew, go ahead and you pick the next book.
All right. Well, might as well stay on this train here. Let me find it in my giant stack of books. Some more Peter J. Tomasi with Super Sons. Super Sons #4. Really love this book. The art by Jorge Jimenez is fantastic. I've been loving these Dustin Nguyen variant covers. He's got that marker style.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And they actually brought back the Amazo virus from the New 52, which is kind of cool. And it's centralized itself inside this kid. Kid Amazo, he's calling himself. He's kind of hijacked his entire family. He's making all these Amazo robots, these clones of Batman and I'm sorry, Robin and Superboy, and they have to fight clones of themselves. They fight clones of Batman and Superman throughout the fight. And at the end here, they actually call in Lex Luthor in his super suit to kind of bail them out of trouble. And it's really awesome. And the story ends with a great note of Lois and Alfred waiting in John's room for them because they were out all night and they're both busted. So they bicker back and forth. Damian is absolutely perfect. Tomasi writes the perfect Damian Wayne, and he's just a sniveling little brat, and it's awesome. And watching them pick at each other is absolutely entertaining. Super stash.
Yeah. I think I'm the only other one on the panel that picked that up and read it, but yeah. Super Sons, again, Super Sons is killing it for me because Damien's my favorite Robin, and I just love his banter between him and John in this issue. I think it was this issue where you were talking about call my bike, or was it another issue? I get them mixed up. It's like I'm gonna call my bike.
yeah. At the end, he's like, I'll just call another bike. He's like, how am I gonna get home? Are you gonna drop me off? He's like, no, figure it out. He's like, I'll just call a bike. Yeah, I liked at the beginning. He's talking to him and he's like, oh, I thought you had superpowers. You don't have superpowers? We're chained up. You can't break these chains. What, don't you have superpowers?
Yeah, what is your superpower? Being annoying or something like that? Yeah.
What is your superpower? Being extremely easy to catch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I love that book. Yeah, Super Sons, like I say, has been a big stash for me. But Mike, I guess I put you up next to pick the next book.
Gotcha. I'm going to roll through the chat real quick here. We got Black Pole in the house. Count Von Strange. Jason Smith, as always, is in the house. Who else? I know Seeking Nearman Comics.
Hey, what's up, man?
He says, wow, a whole new change of panel in this show. Yeah, we got a couple guys. One's doing the family thing and one's not feeling too good. So we had some last-minute guest hosts and SS comic readers in here. So my first book is going to be one that you guys haven't read, I don't think, and it is Ian Livingstone's Freeway Fighter. Pretty cool Grim Reaper cover right there. And basically, let me get to my page here. If you're a fan of Mad Max, this book is for you, which I am. It starts off in 2022, and we jump into like a NASCAR race, the final lap, and we learn one of the drivers is daughter of a legend, and her name is Della Rosa. And right at the end of the race, she gets into a wreck. And then it flash forwards 2 years where it's kind of like the whole Earth, except for a handful of people, have been wiped out from a virus. They don't really talk about the virus or go into much detail about it, but a lot of action in this book, a lot of blood, good stuff. If you like Mad Max, check this book out. This is a stash for me right here.
Awesome. Did anybody else pick up that book?
No, but that cover art looks awesome. I really like that.
That looks pretty sick.
Yeah. Let me show you guys some of the inside while we're. What's up, Bruce Zayas? Bruce Zayas in the house.
Did you say SS Comic Reader too? Because I saw him in the chat.
Yeah, SS Comic Reader is in here.
Bruce said he said he's playing some Injustice 2 and watching us.
That's right. Bruce Zayas just joined our Blaster to Stash at Guild in Injustice 2. So
Nice. I need to start doing some challenges tonight.
Yeah, if you guys are have Injustice 2 on the Xbox, we have a Blaster to Stash It Guild. Drew Manchu's one of the members, Trinity, and Bruce Zayas, along with myself. So come hang out with us, earn some guild points and all that crap. So
I'll get that game in like 2 months when you all are good, and I'll be just pushing like the punch button.
shit.
It's easy to learn, man.
Yeah, I mean,
if you've ever played Mortal Kombat, you know how to play it.
And it's like a cross between Mortal Kombat. It's more casual. It's kind of like got a Smash Brothers vibe to it, like interactive environments and weird stuff. So it's definitely an arcade fighter. You don't got to remember all the combos.
All right, Mike, did you have something else you was trying to show?
Oh, absolutely not. Go ahead. Next.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess I'll start us off, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. Flash 22, the wrap up of the button. This is my pick of the week, obviously. I called it all along that it was going to end the way it did, especially when they announced that Doomsday Clock with Jeff Johns. But you pretty much get what you're looking for right in the very final pages of the book, final panels of the book. And you see the blue lightning and, Batman. It shows Batman in his house. Like once they get back, because Jay Garrick brings them, they hear something calling them. And Jay Garrick brings them out of the Speed Force into the Batcave at present right now. And then there's Professor Zoom or whatever, Eobard Thawne. That there's his dead body, because he thought he was going to be, a big boy and run up there like, they ain't never faced nothing like me. And he gets there and he's like, the blue light engulfs him. And it's like, no, it's like, I'm sorry. It's like, my God. And it's like, it shows, what happened to him, because the blue light touches him. And then but it shows Batman. Yeah, I'm trying not to give it all away, but the book is awesome. It's a super stash for me. Or as Count Von Strange would say, Burt Reynolds stash.
Burt Reynolds.
Alex, you read that book?
Yeah.
Who else read that book?
Yeah.
I read it.
One of the things I really love about this is the interaction between Barry and Reverse Flash. And I just like how Reverse Flash is super quick. And in this panel, he says, like always, you're too late, Barry. I'm here. Like he beat them to that spot. Yeah. And then he says, your life is about to be undone. And yes, the end of the trail, and I've arrived. And then all of a sudden his expression changes when he sees what he's about to face. And so I just think that's awesome. It really builds up in a nice way of what they're gonna be facing, and whenever that arc comes along. So yeah, huge stash for this one as well. That's a So Comic stash. So Comics.
Drew, what did you think about it?
I have the exact opposite opinion on the whole button debacle. To me, this is just terrible marketing on DC's part. This is nothing but an advertisement for Doomsday Clock. It's 4 issues that we all bought the lenticular covers. We all spent more money on it. It's a bestseller, and it gives you nothing. It gives you exactly what you had when you started. It gives you nothing.
Not really, because
not in my opinion.
At the beginning, we only speculated that Dr. Manhattan did it, but this pretty much, you see his hand and you hear him
there's
talking.
a blue hand in space in the Rebirth issue. It's Dr. Manhattan. Everybody knows it's Dr. Manhattan. It's been Dr. Manhattan. Then they show Dr. Manhattan use his power to kill him when he touches the button. And then they spend 2 issues, 3 issues hopping back and forth through time, destroying things from past timelines that don't need to be destroyed because everybody still remembers them anyway. So what's the point of getting rid of it? You kill off Jay Garrick, and at that point, what do you have? You have Dr. Manhattan is the one who was in power all along. We knew that. We knew that going into it. Oh, everybody knew that going into it. It's just
not necessarily.
No payoff, in my opinion.
There is a theory going around that it's a big mislead that Dr. Manhattan isn't behind it all, because the very final panel in the book where he says, "Oh, we're all puppets, Lori. I'm not, except I'm the only puppet who can see the strings." That's ripped exactly from the movie in the original Watchmen comic book.
I get that.
The theory is because when it goes out and you see Superman's shield when it pans out,
right?
That's why Superman's shield is at the number 12 on the Doomsday Clock. There's a theory that either subconsciously or consciously, Superman is the one behind it all.
I don't know if I buy that, and I know that Dr. Manhattan was what happened. He picked up the button at the end. I mean, to me, it's given us nothing. The fact that we can still speculate that it might not be Dr. Manhattan proves my point even more, that this has given us nothing. But all of these issues were beautiful to look at, and all of these issues were beautifully written, really great dialogue between the characters. But like, I thought we were getting something out of this. I thought, oh, the button, they're finally doing the button. They just called it the button, which reeks of something's going to be revealed here. And it was just like more nothing to me. It was stuff that we had already seen being recycled and done all over again. It's basically one issue of Batman getting the shit kicked out of him, and then 3 issues of them running through time, and really nothing's happening. They don't see anything. They don't know anything more at the end. At the end, they're like, nope, the fact that we don't know anything means that we need to look into this more. This should have been them looking into it. Like, this is just, it's a tease. It's a tease to me. And the fact they put Red Robin on the cover, that to me was a huge tease. They're going to do something with the button that's going to have something to do with Dr. Oz, or we're going to figure out what's going on with people being snatched out of the universe. But no, that's not in there either. They put it on the cover, but why?
But they've been saying all along from the Rebirth that that whole story with the Watchmen was a thing that Jeff Johns was going to tell. So I mean, I pretty much knew going in this that it was just going to be leading.
Give us anything?
No, that it was going to be leading up to what Jeff Johns is going to do.
I don't know, man. I liked all those issues individually. I just think that as far as the overarching story, they didn't give us anything. And I feel like the way they marketed it, that I was expecting something. I was expecting an event, and I got nothing out of it. I got a couple good issues with some good banter. I got, some really great visuals. These are beautiful books. Individually, these issues are great. I just think the way it was marketed and the way that DC Rebirth is kind of dragging its heels I don't know. It's upsetting to me. They're delaying and they're pushing it back, and everybody knows it's the Watchmen. They announced that the Watchmen are coming back. That's why the button was there. Everybody knows that they're doing that. So like, get on with it. Do it. Give us something. Give me something to chew on. Yeah, to me, it's just more of the same. And and I, like I said, I don't have any issues with these issues individually. I think they're all well written. I think that it's beautiful. I just think that overall DC editorials like, here's a little sprinkle, and I want give me a meal. That's all I'm saying.
I do not agree. I loved it. So
anyway,
at each their own.
I guess who's up next?
Well, this was a stash for me.
How did you?
I'm pro button. I'm just gonna leave it as that.
Yeah.
And, so.
Oh, I'm stashing it. I'm still reading all of it. I'm just pissed off.
All right. Well, I guess that leads back to you, Alex, to pick our next book.
Next book is that I read. I've been looking forward to this book every time it comes out, and I think I like this one better than Blue, but I like X-Men Gold #4. And one thing that I really liked about this is, of course, Gambit is on the cover. One of my favorite X-Men. I'm not 100% sure. I've got a few comments about this book. Okay, hipster Gambit with his little beanie thing. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like that. That's a blast for me. That's a Taco Bell bean burrito for me. And then this artwork. Okay, as much controversy, and I don't want to get any, like, you know, I don't want to turn this into a conversation about that kind of stuff, but as much controversy as what was his name, Saif?
Yeah.
As much controversy as that was, his artwork was pretty decent, and he shouldn't have shot himself in the foot because I thought he was a good artist. This is what I'm talking about. I do not like this art in here is a blast for me. Like, this is horrible to me. Now there are some good things. It's what stinks for me about this book is there will be a panel of a, you know, really beautiful picture, and then the next panel over, it's like they just rushed through it just to get it done. And maybe that was not.
I mean, yeah, they did.
Maybe they had to do it because he got booted off and they had to get someone else in. But like, it's just like one panel will have so much detail, and then the next picture will be just this wrinkled up, nasty looking face, or with just like minimal detail completely. Like, I like this of Storm right here. I think that's pretty decent. But then like the next panel above it is, I don't know. It was pretty distracting. I still like the story. I'm going to stash this one. It's a soft stash for me, but I'm going to stash it regardless because it's X-Men. And the story was cool. Gambit trying to deliver a product to a buyer, and it turns out to be nanotechnology. And I won't spoil the end, but this nanotechnology gets released and it forms something, and it's going to be a pretty big battle. So stash for me on X-Men Gold. So.
Which cover did you get? Did you get the Gambit cover?
Yeah, I just got the regular.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah, the cover's great. It's the inside that's tough to look at.
Definitely. Just reminds me of like Steve Rogers Captain America. Like, that stuff is just, I don't like that art either. The interiors of that. And this reminds me a lot of that.
Now, I didn't like the art in this either, but I do like when Jesus Saez is working on Cap, those flashback panels, all those flashbacks. I dig that stuff, but I didn't like the art in this book. I thought the story was great, though. I like that they brought Remy back. I like how they did it. He's definitely true to form, and I'm excited about that.
So this is a stash all the way around.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep picking up Gold. I think the art will even out after they've had some time to settle into a schedule with these guys.
Yeah. Jeremy, did you pick that up? Or you read it?
No, I didn't get to read that one.
Kitty Pryde as the leader of the X-Men is awesome. I am thoroughly enjoying it because she's where you think she wouldn't be confident, she's completely confident and competent, you know, when she's leading the team in the field. It's awesome.
All right, Drew, what's your next book? If everybody's through done talking about that book, I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do Batman number 23, The Brave and the Mold. I really dug this issue. This is a one-shot story. It's Batman teaming up with Swamp Thing, and they're investigating a murder. Swamp Thing's interested in this murder because the victim is his father. He has an estranged relationship with his father, and this book is full of emotion. Swamp Thing's a great character when you're dealing with that kind of stuff, and Batman's got great pathos as well. So I really dug this. Quick one and done. Really nice, self-contained story. Definitely gave me something fun to read this week when we got big events going on here. You got the Button, you got Secret Empire, and all this stuff going on. This kind of story kind of kept to itself, and I really enjoyed that. It was really good stuff. Definitely stash.
Did anybody else? I read that book. Did anybody else read it?
No.
Okay, I liked it. It was okay. I think this is it 24 that starts the War of Jokes and Riddles?
That's coming up. I think that that might be the next issue, and
Yeah.
and they're doing like that. That's back in time, isn't it? That's the right after 0 year.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure at all. I just know that that was the next arc that was coming up for Batman. But this, like you said, this is a little nice self-contained story. I love seeing Swamp Thing because the more Swamp Thing, the better. But yeah, it was a little weird though. I was kind of hectic, not hectic, but skeptical of reading it when that Mitch Gerard's guy, ain't that the guy that does that Doom Patrol stuff? And
Yeah, he's hit or miss.
or is that Gerard Way? That's Gerard Way I'm thinking about.
No, Gerard Way writes Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Mitch Gerardes, he or Gerards or whatever. Gerards. I have no idea how to say his name. It's got a G in it and an R and a D, and an S at the end. So Gerads, whatever his name is, Giraffe Man. I don't know, but his hit or miss with his art. And this issue is kind of the same. Some of it looks really cool. Some of it I could take or leave. To be honest.
Beyond Blast Doors, a Star Wars podcast, in the chat just said that Gerard Way writes Doom. I had them mixed up. That's why I was thinking about. Yeah, I liked it as a self-contained story. Like I said, I really liked it. Well, if anybody in the chat hadn't read it, I'm not going to spoil it, but Swamp Thing does something that gets Batman pretty hot at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say a quick plug for Beyond the Blast Doors. I'm glad David showed up. If you guys could check him out, sub him up. He's got some awesome videos, Star Wars videos, and the quality of the videos are just absolutely stunning and just good quality stuff. You guys will really enjoy it.
Awesome. You had me at Star Wars.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he's from my hometown too, so that's a good thing.
All right, Mike, you got to update on the chat a little bit. Who else is hopped in?
Yeah. Of course. Oh, was Huey voted off the island? Captain Dadpool showed up. No, Dave is doing the family thing tonight. So, anyway, we got Captain Dadpool just showed up. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars podcast. Everyone, like they just said, sub him up. Daydreams and Nightmares is in here. Haven't seen him in here in a while. Airborne Sapper just popped in not too long ago. The Great Legend Show was in here. I think he left, though. He was going to go play some Injustice. Uncanny Kawaka was in here. And I believe that is about it.
Alex, the Comic Quarters in the house.
Alex, the Comic Quarters in the house.
As always in the chat room.
There's Doom 143. I don't know if we mentioned him yet.
Yeah, Doom 143. So...
we got 18 live viewers, and if you could just go ahead and give us a thumbs up, that'll really help us a lot. Because I'm not the normal host. If you're watching this for the first time, like Beyond the Blast Doors, I'm filling in for Herbie when he went camping. But,
that was a decision we made in the off-air chat. Trinity was I'm gonna host this MF.
I didn't.
I said, you go for it, man.
I'm glad you censored him too. I'm glad you sent because it was pretty vulgar.
Yeah, I'm changing my ways. No, I'm just kidding. He's doing awesome. We're just trying to get through. You want me to do next book?
Yeah, go ahead and do the next book, Mike.
All right, let's do Generation X #1. This is the only copy my store got, the action figure variant. So
I love that variant.
Jubilee on the front.
Jubilee?
So, Jubilee. I'm just reading what you guys got my thumbs up 5 minutes ago. This is a blast. Thank you for your shout out. Only been up 2 weeks. That's from Beyond the Blast Doors.
Everybody go sub him up.
All right. So, Generation X, I found out was the team with the worst named mutants ever.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, I have to read this shit. So the names of these mutants are, I'm not kidding here, Bling, Kid Omega, I'm serious, Kid Omega, Nature Girl, Morph, Hindsight, and the best one of them all, Eye-Boy.
Eye-Boy's awesome.
Eye-Boy's awesome?
Yes.
Fun fact, I started to read this book, and I looked at it, and I started reading the characters' names, and I noped out. I was like, nope.
Oh, you missed out. It's a good book.
Because I looked at that one guy, and I was like, is that Groot? That's a teenage Groot. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, because I figured, they got Groot and everything now. And it said bling, and I was like, nope.
Bling.
So, like, this book opens up in Central Park, where if you aren't familiar, it's where I guess the X-Mansion is now, where Jubilee is being a bad mother and loses her kid. And then we're introduced to a bunch of students at the Xavier School. It turns into an episode of Saved by the Bell. In the end, the kids are attacked by some mutant haters called the Purifiers. And basically, these characters did nothing for me. So this was actually a blast for me. I'm going to keep picking it up because it is an X book, and I love the X books. So we'll see where it goes. But this one did nothing for me.
All right, let's see. Alex, you read that, didn't you? Drew,
Yeah.
you did too, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
So whichever one of you wants to go next.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think this character's name is Hindsight. Is that his name? What?
Yeah.
What good is that? What good is that power? Hindsight is 2020, but like, what good is that going to do in the field? As an X-Men, like, he'll be able to touch somebody and know what they went through.
I want to chat.
Maybe it's so that they can like empathize. Maybe he can like empathize with everybody.
Well, if that's his power, but having hindsight, then I'm a mutant then.
Yeah, I know. Me too. But once again, man, this art was nasty too. Look at Jubilee in this. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
the art in this was really. I mean, and I'm not one that I couldn't draw a stick figure like to save my life. That would be worth looking at, but yeah, I didn't really like the artwork in this one. The eyes were too big, like almost like alien eyes for everybody. And I am kind of curious. Like the team is just like the misfits of they threw all the misfits. Like X-Men is already a team of misfits, but then they threw the misfits on this team. Like there's nothing to get invested in this team for me. Except for Jubilee, but I'm not a huge fan of Vampire Jubilee. The only saving grace of this book was Kitty Pryde again. Like, I like the interaction with Kitty Pryde. Oh, and Morph. I will say, I'm interested to know, is this the same, and maybe Drew, or maybe the chat knows, is this the same Morph that was in the X-Men Adventures? Like in the 90s?
I don't think it's the exact same character. It's kind of a reboot of Morph because Morph never existed.
He never existed, yeah.
Not in the 616. He's part of the Age of Apocalypse. He was a member of the Exiles for a while. But I think this is basically the reboot of Morph in the Marvel proper universe.
Morph and Mindy?
So, he'll be cool,
Yes,
but I don't see how his ability will be worth anything other than to like espionage or something like that.
Right, but I think it's interesting that they wrote in there that he has trouble controlling it.
Yeah.
And that like when he empathizes with somebody, he turns into them. So
like your Morph is showing right now, buddy. Maybe
right.
Morph is showing.
Right. I think that that's pretty cool. I like these characters though. I can understand why somebody wouldn't, but I enjoyed watching these characters kind of grow through Wolverine and the X-Men by Jason Aaron. Is one of my favorite X-Men runs of all time. I really love that stuff. It focused on the school. It focused on the fact that these were teenagers. And it wasn't like all new X-Men where, they're teenagers, but they're out and about in the world and they have a weird van. Like, I wasn't so much for that, but these are kids at a boarding school,
weird van.
And kind of the same formula that works for Harry Potter can work in this instance as well. I think that the writer took a lot of nods from My Hero Academia, which is a manga and an anime, and it's kind of like if the X-Men, it's X-Men if mutants weren't vilified, if they were like celebrated. So and it's kind of got that same vibe to it. It's kind of a positive thing to be a mutant. They have mutant pride or whatever. I dig that they brought back the Purifiers, which are an old school X-Men villains. Really nice, kind of mutant liberation front kind of guys. Like I like those old school X-Men villains. I like the fact that Jubilee has that moment that Xavier used to have, and then Cyclops would have, and then Wolverine's had with a bunch of these kids, where she's like, you can't fit in anywhere else, so you might as well fit in here. That classic X-Men speech she's given this kid. So we've had to see things unfold, and Kid Omega is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. And he's kind of like the Damian Wayne for me in the Marvel Universe. He's just a smart ass. He's smarter than all the grown-ups, and they don't give him credit for as powerful as he is. And I think he's going to come into play in this new X universe. I'm excited about that. So I thought this was a stash. I didn't like the art a lot. It wasn't really my cup of tea, but I enjoyed the book overall.
Drew, what is his power, by the way? Because she said you're an Omega level mutant, and I was just curious, what is his power?
Oh, he's going to be the Phoenix. He's Jean Grey, but better.
Oh,
Awesome.
And he also in battle, it's awesome because Psylocke makes that Psy blade, that sword or knife, that's made out of psychic energy that she hits people with, stabs them with. His method of choice is he uses a Psy sawed-off shotgun. It's badass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh, man.
He debuted in New X-Men at the riot at Xavier's mansion, and he's evolved since then. Wolverine and the X-Men kind of focused on the relationship between him and Wolverine kind of giving him a chance and wanting to make him a good guy. And really, really quality character. He showed up in Thor this week as well, and that was amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading it. So.
All right. So I guess we'll go on to Alex. You picked that book, didn't you?
yeah, I talked about it already.
Okay. Drew, you want to go ahead and pick the next book? Or Mike, did you have something to say?
No.
Okay.
In that case, I want to talk about Thor number 19. I'm not sure if anybody else read Thor number 19, but I've been loving the Mighty Thor. Jason Aaron has written this story for the past 6 years now, ever since Thor God of Thunder relaunched in actually before that, before the first Marvel Now, he's been writing Thor, and this is some solid stuff. You got Odinson returns. He's fighting alongside Jane Foster. They're fighting the Phoenix Force. They're fighting the Shi'ar, and Quentin Quire shows up and bargains with the Phoenix. Basically, takes a piece of the Phoenix because the Phoenix knows that one day he will be the Phoenix, and says, "No, you're not ready for this, kid." And he's like, "Yeah, just give me a taste, and then you can get out of here." And basically, the Phoenix takes the deal, and he leaves, and everything's at peace now. The story arc's over, but they definitely set up some nice villains to come, as well as something real dangerous is coming down the pipe. Love the art in this book; it's breathtaking stuff. The cosmic stuff is amazing, and I really, really dig the story. Let me see some of this art in here. Jane Foster psychically fighting the Phoenix Force.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just noticed Drew's shirt. That's awesome.
The periodic table.
Yeah.
I got a DC one too.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. But I love the Mighty Thor. The art is consistent. The story is great, and it really takes you places. The fact that Odinson's back and hanging out in Asgard, that's a cool thing. And I like Jane Foster as Thor. Lady Thor is super hot and super badass at the same time, and I'll dig that. I'll dig that all day long.
Hell yeah.
All right, Mike. You got anything? What's your next book?
Let's do. I read Aquaman 23, which really cool cover there, Dead Aquaman. Let me open this up because I forgot. This starts a new story It's called Crown of Atlantis. So basically, what's happening now is the Atlanteans feel as Arthur cares more about the surface dwellers, so they want to see him step down as King of Atlantis. And basically, that's all this book deals with. And I thought it was a pretty cool story. I've been loving Aquaman since issue 1, so this is a definite stash for me.
Isn't that like every Aquaman story? Every Aquaman story I've ever read. That's the Atlanteans are like, you don't care about us, you care more about the surface.
Yeah, I heard that, but I've actually never got into Aquaman until Rebirth. So
no, neither have I. I got through the first couple issues of that. I got to think I had the first arc, but I enjoyed it. I just didn't keep reading it.
All right, I think you're the only one to pick that up.
yep.
So, all right, we'll go ahead and start it. Give it on to me. My next book, and shocker, is Secret Empire #2, and I actually liked it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but to be honest with you, because I don't know much about all the other stuff that's going on in the other books, and I feel like I'm kind of missing some stuff from not knowing that, like some of the characters and stuff like that. But at the shocker at the end of it, though, I'm gonna have to get y'all to explain it to me off air because I don't want it to ruin it to nobody that hasn't read it. But I was like, oh snap! So,
yeah, don't worry. Nobody knows anything about that.
Okay.
That's a legitimate surprise for just about everybody, unless you work at Marvel, and then you probably still don't even know.
Well, it's a stash for me. I'll pick it up just to see where it goes from here because of the way it ended. And I think everybody else on the panel read that book, right?
I didn't. I missed it.
Oh, you didn't, Alex?
No.
Sorry, man. If you want to mute it, I'll tap my nose or something.
That's all right. I'll still read it when I pick it up next week.
All right. Drew, you want to go ahead? And Mike, you read it too, didn't you?
Yeah. You know me. I'm pro Hydra Captain America. So this is some great stuff in here. So this is a stash for me as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely a stash for me. I've been loving everything about Secret Empire. I'm even buying the tie-ins. That's how in I am. I absolutely love this issue. I think that story-wise was a lot slower than the Zero issue and #1. But I like the fact that it painted a broader picture of the world and the situation. We got to see what's going on under the bubble of the dark dimension in New York City. That's kind of where the Defenders are. You got Doctor Strange and Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. Cloak and Dagger. Dagger is being the light source for the.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Manhattan. That was pretty cool. A pretty awesome idea that he put in there. I really dug that. That she's basically like a battery that's wearing out, though. That's pretty cool. Nice situation of peril for them. Makes it personal as well. And Steve Rogers basically dealing with killing everybody in Las Vegas and murdering Rick Jones. I mean, the way he dealt with that, basically, and sat down with Zemo, and Zemo's like, "Hey, man, it's cool that you're sad about that." And he's like, "We got to find this cube and make sure that we can undo all this." And the fact that he still thinks he's a good guy, that makes him such a great villain. And it's absolutely delicious.
Drew, let me ask you a question. Something I didn't understand. How come when Tony Stark talks, his words are in red?
He's an AI. He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's not dead. The end of Civil War II saw Tony put into a comatose state. He downloaded his consciousness into like an AI, like Friday. Basically,
what's his name?
He's Riri Williams. She's Ironheart, and he's her AI, which makes that book so great.
So he's Jarvis, huh?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and so if you're, it's kind of hard that I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't explain that, but that's been going on since the end of Civil War II. So I guess Marvel just expects you to know that that's what it is. But yeah, he's not around. He's in like cryo sleep somewhere, and that's just his consciousness as an AI.
I like the scene with Miles and Black Widow.
Oh yeah.
Where
Right.
he's like, I'm the one who's supposed to kill Captain America according to his vision during the Civil War. So I'm curious to see if that pans out. So
this may be weird to some people, but like whenever I first started getting back into comics, like I kind of assumed that I was too far gone to get into like Peter Parker Spider-Man because I didn't know that it rebooted all the time and everything. So I got that Marvel Unlimited, and I started reading up on Miles Morales, like the first couple issues when he was introduced and everything. So I really like Miles Morales as a Spider-Man, and I feel like I would like to read his books because like Spider-Man was always a character that I wanted to get into, but I just kind of felt like I say, this was before I knew anything about all the reboots and everything. That I kind of felt like his history would be overwhelming to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Miles is an easy character to get into. I would say just go ahead and start with the latest Spider-Man run. It's only like 20 issues deep at this point. Yeah, and that's a good book. Bendis writes that, but he created Miles, so it's a character he cares about, and he's not going to let it be shitty. It's a good book.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, are you through talking about this book?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're talking about Marvel. No, I didn't read any tie-ins, but
can I talk about those real quick?
Yeah, but before we move on to that, since he's not here himself tonight to talk about this book, I would like Mike to go ahead and quote Paul for tonight when we're talking about Marvel.
Oh, fuck Marvel. That's for you, Paul.
It wouldn't be a blast of the stash. We hope you feel better, Paul. Get your toe sewed back on or whatever's going on, but go ahead, Drew.
All right, so there were two tie-ins that came out. USA Avengers #6. This was a passable book. It's kind of showing what happened with the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D., which also happened to be the fall of AIM, which is run by the government, and Roberto DaCosta shows him shot in the head here on the cover. He's shot, but you don't see him shot in the head like that in the book, so he's probably not dead. And they hijacked the Red Hawk with some nanotechnology, kind of the same thing that was going on in X-Men Gold. But it was a fun book if you like the team. If you're not reading this book, then you wouldn't care about it. It doesn't give you any essential information. But I loved Ultimates #7. Even though this book is ass ugly, it's one of the worst looking Marvel titles I think I've ever seen. The art is so awful, but anybody who has watched my video, I just put it up earlier today though, knows why I love this, and it's because Civil War II made me hate Carol Danvers, and Secret Empire shows Carol Danvers being locked outside the planet and basically stranded and told to go screw herself, and that's amazing. And this book right here is a highly detailed telling of those events step by step, and you get to watch it happen on her face. And if you hate Carol Danvers, you'll really, really enjoy watching her get screwed. And it's amazing to me. I absolutely love it. And she just doesn't see it coming. She's just too wrapped up in her own stuff, and she doesn't see it coming, and it's great. I love it.
That's awesome.
All right. I guess, Alex, what's your next book?
Yep. This is my last book that I read for the week. God Country #5.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been invested in this since all the hype. It was Count Von Strange, I believe, and Aim High maybe, that had all the hype on. Yeah, Aim High.
Talking about it, yeah.
All of this, all the hype. Danny Cates is. What's really good is that we have some backstory on Valifax, the sword, and why it's so important. And they've been sending these. I guess it's the sons to go get the sword back, and they've been failing each time. But what I really like about this issue is that there is an internal struggle in Emmett, and he knows that he has to give. He knows that this sword in his possession is hurting his family, Roy, Janie, and the daughter. The little granddaughter's name is I can't remember.
It was an Annie. No, it ain't Annie Mae. That's
Annie Mae. Yeah.
Renew Your Vows.
Spider-Man. Yeah. But regardless, it's hurting. It's Dina. And
Yeah.
he realized that it's hurting them. It's putting them in great danger. But he also knows that if he gives this sword up, he won't be the same. And so the son's trying to convince him, like, you need to give this up. It's only causing us problems. But he knows that he'll go into that state of, memory loss, anger, and so there's a huge internal struggle. So in this issue, we just know that it's building and building, and Emmett is reluctant to give up the sword, but he's going to take the fight to them. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So huge stash for God Country for sure.
I think I'm the only other person on the panel that picked it up, and I'm like you. I've been on it since issue 1, and I love it. It's my co-pick of the week, that and Flash. But yeah, everything you said is true. I love the way it ended with him, like, well, I'm not gonna spoil that, but he's going after him.
Mm-hmm.
But did you pick up the Spawn variants for it, or?
I didn't see it. I would have picked it up if I saw it. Wait, Spider Grandpa, you picked it up, but you just didn't read it, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't have the Spawn variants for me.
But you picked up a different cover than I got, so this is what I got. I like the cover. That's pretty sweet. Because I
ordered it a few months ago. I have to order them in advance. But once I logged on and saw those Spawn variants, like, I got to have those. So I bought the color and the black and white. They got them on mycomicshop.com if anybody wants those, by the way.
I got the Rose Spawn variant by David Finch.
Oh, yeah. I love David Finch.
Yeah, he's awesome. So
I liked how in your video you were saying how they didn't have the God Country variant. Maybe they didn't get those Spawn variants, and then the next one you showed was a Spawn variant. That Rose.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize it at first when I.
You were just upset because you had to go into work so early.
Yeah, probably. I'm always upset when I have to deal with that place.
Yeah.
You come in at 10:30 today.
I believe that pretty much. Anybody else got any more books I want to talk about?
I'll run down a quick blast stash for you guys on a couple of things. I read a bunch. Curse Words, number 5. I'm still picking this up. Really liking that. Charles Soule's writing that. Enjoying that. Definitely a stash for me. Animosity, number 7. This is a soft stash. If the story doesn't start going somewhere, I might drop it, but it's still solid. Spread, number 21. This is definitely a stash for me. This story ends issue number 25. They announced that in the back of this book. I definitely think you guys should go back and read this and trade. If you like Walking Dead, if you like Lone Wolf and Cub, if you liked John Carpenter's The Thing, it's pretty solid. Justice League, that was a blast for me. I'm just picking it up to have the run. Royals, number 3. I know a lot of people gave up on this. I think you gave up an issue too soon because the story in this is really good. It's about Maximus the Mad and where he comes from and how he interacts with his brother Black Bolt. Some good stuff. Not a fan of the art, though. They switched up the artist. John Boy Myers does not do the interior art, and that's kind of disappointing. So soft stash on this. I'm going to give the whole first arc a read. Nightwing. This was a one and done, just like Batman this week. Teamed up with the Flash, Wally West, to do some stuff, fight some crime, do some bro talk, and it was a pretty cool issue. I enjoyed that stash. Trinity. This was my pick of the week.
Thank you.
As far as overall, the more I read this book, the more I love it. Really quick Justice League story with the Trinity. The Watchtower has been taken over by some sort of virus. Some alien cleanser has come and said that they need to be quarantined and taken care of. But the art in this is amazing. Francis Manipool write it. He wrote it. He drew it. He inked it. He did all the color himself. It's fantastic from cover to cover. I'll open this up and show you guys real quick. I'm probably rambling on real long.
No.
That's what it opens up on, the Watchtower.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. The detail is just amazing. They're floating out in space. I mean, come on.
That's cool. I like
Right? That's just like, that's like 3 pages into the book, and those are the splash pages. Like, this book is delicious to look at.
Get over here on you.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, beautiful book.
I agree. I'm loving Trinity too, not just because of the name. I didn't get a chance to read it this week because some I'll try to read online, and then like some I'll wait till my physical books get here just so I ain't read everything already.
Right. I also picked up Teen Titans #8.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk about that because I read that too.
Lazarus Contract Part 2. I'm absolutely loving this. All 3 of these books that are crossing over have been on the chopping block for me. Deathstroke, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really care anymore. It takes me forever to read it because I feel like it reads better in bigger chunks. So I kind of let the arc build. So I've got these books that I'm buying that I'm not reading right away, and then I forget about it, and I end up having to read 12 in a row. So I'm thinking about getting rid of that. Titans is hit or miss. Teen Titans is it's not really what I want out of the group. Even though it's got Damian, I don't think that they have a great take on him. But this crossover so far has been great. I absolutely love it. Deathstroke is fighting the Teen Titans. He's got both Wally Wests. He's hijacked them. He wants them to go back in time and save his son. I believe his name is Grant.
Yeah.
He was the original Ravager, and he died fighting the Teen Titans. Apparently, there was some sort of deal with the devil made with between Deathstroke and Nightwing that Robin has the inside track on. Robin's great in this again. He calls out, together Titans,
Yeah.
and all the original Titans are like, can he do that? And Nightwing's like, I guess so. He just did, So
Yeah.
Robin is leading all of the Teen Titans, which is the way it should be. He's the best out of all of them, and they do some good stuff. I really liked it, and at the end, I won't spoil it, but Deathstroke is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. I picked that up too, and I agree with everything you said except for dropping it because I love it. Anyway, yeah, Teen Titans, man. Everything you said was totally on point. That last little bit with that last page with like you said, Deathstroke's gonna be hard to compete with in the next in the next couple issues or whatever.
Yeah.
However they get rid of that. But go ahead.
I read 2 more books.
Okay.
Daredevil was definitely a stash for me. Charles Soule's doing great on this. If anybody's wondering how, like the previous run, he was in San Francisco. Everybody knew who Matt Murdock was. Everybody knew that he was Daredevil. He's kind of a public superhero. And now he's in New York with all different Marvel, and nobody knows who he is. And they kind of explain how that works. That's what this whole story arc's been about. And that's pretty cool. I also picked up Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man. And this is what I was talking about earlier with Riri Williams and Tony Stark as her AI. And that's a pretty cool book. She gets her ass kicked by Will-O-the-Wisp and feels
Really?
yeah, and she feels like a loser, which she should because she got her ass kicked by Will-O-the-Wisp. And then Tony AI gives her a pep talk, which is something real Tony would never do. Tony doesn't have time for you feeling sorry for yourself, but AI Tony's got all the time in the world. And they brought back Lucia von Bartis, who was the sovereign of Latveria during the Secret War, and that led into Civil War afterwards. So when they took her out, they assassinated her. That was probably the linchpin of them writing the legislation that was kind of pushed through by Nitro exploding that school bus of kids or whatever they did. So it was kind of building on that. Lucia Von Barnes is coming back, so that's another big build that will be on the table, and hopefully we'll see some Doctor Doom interaction with her in Infamous Iron Man, because that story is badass too. So really loved all that stuff.
All right, I believe that will shut the door on our comics portion of the evening, and Mike's got to tell y'all something.
I do?
It's time for...
Shut your Funko mouth!
There we go.
All right, I got a little bit of Funko news for you cool kids hanging out with us this evening. So I don't know if you guys seen it, but there's a FYE exclusive Jimi Hendrix pop, and he's gonna have have a flaming guitar, and it looks pretty cool. So you could pre-order that at FYE. I don't know, fans of Destiny, we're getting some Funkos for that. I played it with my friend Joey. Hey, Joey, if you're watching, we need to start playing again. But there's some Destiny Funkos coming out. We got Cade, Lord Shax, Ikora, Zavala, and Oryx. One thing about these pops, they look freaking amazing. I'm getting them just for the way they look. They're awesome. Justice League pops. I know for a fact you could start pre-ordering those at ClarkToys.com. Of course, Super Sarah stuff popped in here a little while ago, and
She's in there now. She said Destiny.
yeah, Destiny's a good game. It had its bad parts, but anyway, that's another video. The Justice League pops are, of course, Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Superman. And what's up with that Batman, Jeremy? Why has he got sunglasses on?
That's his tactical suit for fighting the parademons. Oh,
okay. Yeah, so you could pre-order those at Clark Toys.
There's actually a they had a thing on Facebook that I saw that showed the GameStop list. You know, where they put those out when people share them. It had all of those that you just mentioned, but it had two more that said just a Justice League pop.
Gotcha.
So I'm figuring it's Superman and Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Captain Deadpool says, "Dude, I want that new Megazord pop," and that thing looks amazing too.
That's an SDCC exclusive though, ain't it?
Yeah, that thing.
It's sold out. Because I got that link and sent it to you in the chat. By the time I got it sent to you, it was sold out.
Yep. Also, at Clark Toys, you could pre-order the Dark Tower pops. There's only two of them that I know of: the Gunslinger and the Man in Black. Smurfs, we're getting Smurfs pops. We're getting Astro Smurf, Brainy Smurf, Gargamel with Azrael.
Oh yes.
Papa Smurf, Smurfette, which Grandpa's gonna get that Smurfette. And then on that list, I saw there was a GNAP Smurf with a P. I don't know what that is. The GNAP Smurf.
Nap
Smurf. Smurf. I don't know, but those are going to be pretty cool to get. And lastly, a new Aliens Covenant, which I did see that movie today. That I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not saying it's bad. So, a Neo. What the hell? I can't even read my own writing. A Neo. Fuck is it?
Neil Adams?
Yeah, Neil Adams.
Hold a donut.
Oh, it's a Neo Xenomorph. You gotta see the movie to understand what this alien's all about. But he's gonna have, or she's gonna have, a little toddler alien with her, so she looks really awesome. That's really all I got for Funko news. I did acquire a slew of Funkos this week. First one I got was from the con I was just at, and that's IG-88 from Star
That's
Wars.
sick. I dig that.
Yeah, this was a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive before I was subscribed to those boxes, and I missed the boat, but now I have it. I did get Diablo from Diablo 3.
I was going to say, that ain't Diablo. He's got tattoos on his face.
This is a better Diablo.
I didn't even know they made a pop of that.
Yeah, they have Diablo and what's his name? Tyrael right there.
Oh, yeah, Tyrael.
And Tyrael looks awesome as well.
I've never played that game, but it always looked cool.
You mean Tyrell?
Tyrell. Jason Smith said, I got the Star-Lord chase. I think everybody's got the Star-Lord chase except for me. I got the Borderlands GameStop exclusive Emperor Claptrap that I missed the boat on. Before, let's see. I got this from Area 51. This is from the game Evolve. Never was a big fan of that game, but the pop's pretty cool.
I thought it was Kano.
It does look like Kano. And there's the other ones you could get for that series. I'm working on getting my platinum for Diablo 3 Super Sarah. Let's see what else. I won this from Metal Nerd.
Oh, that's cool.
2017 Galactic Convention. Princess Leia. I do have the Han Solo to go with this, so I actually won this from not Metal Nerd, but his daughter, Awesome, or what's her channel's name? Awesome Adolin, the Awesome Adolin Show. So pretty cool. I pre-ordered this one a long time ago, and it finally came the other day. This is the FYE exclusive Finn Balor.
Oh yeah.
Awesome stuff right there.
Don't they have another one where he's just regular looking? He don't have the paint on him?
Yeah. This should have been the chase actually. So.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't make it to chase though.
I know, right? Picked up Trapjaw from Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah.
Specialty series. Saw this at the con.
He-Man, you imbecile!
There you go. And last two pops I picked up for my Walking Dead collection are both of Michonne's pets.
Oh wow, those are pretty rare, ain't they?
Yeah, these are vaulted. I paid I think $25 each for these, but I needed them, so.
So I wonder if you look at the numbers, it's 37, and then the other one's 39. Is Michonne 38?
Where the hell is my Michonne pop? Yes, she is actually.
Which actually makes perfectly sense because she's always in between the two of them, you know.
Yeah, and she was she was the first pop I ever bought.
Oh wow!
So, and that's all I got for shut your Funko mouth. If anyone has any pops to show or.
No pops, but I got some mystery minis.
Go ahead,
show
them off.
Yeah, I got.
Shut your mystery mouth.
Right.
Let me get you presented here.
I got the new Spider-Man wave.
Oh yeah.
These are awesome. I really want that Venom. That's the one that I really want. He's 1 in 12.
Oh yeah, they got a Spider. They got a Spider-Gwen in there. Oh yeah.
Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman. There's a Stilt. There's a Vulture.
Oh man.
Drew, have you seen those things to where I remember when I used to collect pops and like look for them all the time, they were sharing these diagrams to where like whenever you like there's a fresh box of the mystery minis, there's a way you can get whichever one you want.
Right. The difference with this is there's a 1 in 24, there's a 1 in 36, and there's a 1 in 72 as well. Which is Lizard's the 1 in 72.
Oh, okay.
1 in 24 is Sandman, and the 1 in 36 is the Rhino. So I've been trying to find the heavy ones to get the Venom. I've only bought 2 so far. The first one I got, 1 in 72.
Lizard.
1 in 72.
Wow.
The second one I got, it was the 1 in 36.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, so like both the hard to find ones I got, so
That's
I'm
awesome.
happy with that. And I'm not too attached to them, so maybe somebody might want them, and I might be able to flip them for a little buck, buy some more mystery minis, try to find that Venom.
There you go. If I can find that diagram that shows you like when it's a fresh, like open, like,
Right.
box. If I can find that, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I had one for the X-Men, and the only ones of those that I don't have now are the GameStop and the Hot Topic exclusives. I found the Kitty Pryde, which was the one I really wanted, but I can't find that cable anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but those are exclusives, so they're a little different. When they get those cases, they're all mixed up.
Is that all you have to show, or?
Yeah, as far as Funkos go, that's all I got. I also, as far as not showing, but I really enjoyed a pop that was shown to me this week. It's the Laura Palmer from the Twin Peaks. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but there's a stand. She's wrapped in translucent plastic,
Yes.
and there's a backdrop that is the stones that she was found on. Dude, manager at my LCS, she's a brand new manager. I've known her for a long time. She's like, "Here, man, let me pop this open." She opened it up. She set it up. That's a great display piece. That's something you take out of the box. It was fantastic. Going, if I had some more disposable income this week, that would have happened. But yeah, I think.
Speaking of display piece pops, like that Jimi Hendrix with the guitar.
Yeah,
on fire,
definitely. It
you're
doesn't
gonna
look
have
like
to,
great pop.
Yeah, you can't even see the guitar. He's just going.
Right, you're gonna have to open it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and go on to Trinity Superhero Cinema.
Get a shout out to Mighty LJ who popped in here.
Yes, very much so. Shout out to her.
So go ahead with Superhero Cinema.
All right, let's. we gotta get away. All right, first off, this is breaking news we had today. I'm pretty sure everybody's already saw it though. Tom Hardy to star in Venom, and Ruben Fleischer to direct. What do you guys think about this? I'm kind of skeptical. Some of the stuff I was reading was saying the Spider-Man's not going to be in it. So,
yeah, I think that's a bad idea.
I kind of do too. Even though I like Tom Hardy as Venom.
I like Tom Hardy just fine. I just don't think that a Venom movie needs to happen, and I don't think that they're going to find a way to make it that interesting. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's great. You know, if it's great, I'll eat my words. But it's Sony, and they're trying to separate the properties that they own from what Marvel can actually use right now, and that to me is petty. And they're just trying to grab an extra buck, and it's not going to end up doing well.
They must be fast tracking it because it says October 5th, 2018 is the release date.
Yeah, I mean, they should have been spending more time on this. Honestly, I think that, the fact that they're not wasting time, it screams cash grab.
It says here that a studio is also developing a Silver Sable and Black Cat project, among other characters from the Spider-Man stable.
Both terrible ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that other one can carry a whole movie.
What'd you say, Alex?
I just don't know how Black Cat and Silver Sable can carry a movie. Venom does seem like a bad idea separated from Spider-Man. Like Drew was saying, I completely agree with Drew.
Yeah, how does he get his spider powers? He's not going to have spider powers? I don't know.
Who knows, though? I mean, they do own the rights to Spider-Man, so who's to say that they can't use,
So far, they've said it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, so far, they've said that, right now they can't use, based on the deal they have with Marvel, they can't use Spider-Man unless Marvel's involved right now. That's for the movie deal they have. So
they better hurry up and get Marvel involved in this.
Marvel won't do it because it's a cash grab and it's a bad idea. It's poorly thought out. I think the fact that they're attaching big names to it is also, they're fast tracking it. They're attaching big names to it because you can't sell a movie without a big name attached to it. So Fleischer is a big enough name to get the movie made. Tom Hardy's a big enough name to get, publishing, like the press these movies. So how well, that sounds good, but the movie sounds like a bad idea. And the movie comes out, without Spider-Man, I couldn't care less, and it reeks of cash grab to me.
Yeah. Alex, Mike, y'all got anything to say about this?
As long as it's not Topher Grace or whatever the hell his name is.
No, it's not Topher Grace.
Lunchbox Batman's in the house, and he says he feels bad for Tom Hardy on this. I think hopefully Tom Hardy can elevate this bad news and make it good. So
from what I've heard, though, I mean, I've heard that Tom Hardy is notoriously meticulous on like what he attaches his name to, and he's had to have read it and gotten a feel of like if he thinks it'll be good before he attaches his name to it. They say that's the way he operates. So
well, I hope, like I said, I hope it's good. I
hope so too. I
be.
don't see it. Maybe they got an ace up their sleeve though. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they use Miles Morales.
I mean, this is the same studio who is thinking about making a movie about Black Cat, who's a ripoff of Catwoman.
Yeah.
Who everybody saw that, and that was not good.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a Catwoman movie without Batman. It's like doing a Felicia Hardy movie without Spider-Man. Who cares? She's a cat burglar. She doesn't get caught. Who's gonna catch her? The police? No. Spider-Man can't even catch her. So that's what's interesting about her is her relationship to Spider-Man.
Rocket Racer.
All right. Well, we'll go on to the next story then. Charlie Hunnam has a change of heart on playing Green Arrow. If you remember, before King Arthur opened in theaters, he was quoted as saying that he didn't grow up a comic book fan. Actually, I think here's the quote right here. I didn't grow up a comic book fan, and I haven't really seen any of those Marvel films or the Batman films. It's just not really my taste. I must confess, I really don't know who the Green Arrow is. It's not part of my vision for my career or what I aspire to. Fast forward a couple of weeks when King Arthur crashes basically at the box office. It's getting trashed. And he's doing an interview. And he says, I'm not a fan of the comic book, so I don't know why people are always asking me about him, Green Arrow. Do I look like him? Well, then come on, DC. What's up? Give me a call.
Oh, shit. Jax Teller.
Yeah. And I honestly think he could pull it off if they was to get him to do it. Because, I mean,
I think he's a terrible actor.
You think he's a terrible actor?
Man, Pacific Rim was so good, aside from the parts where he was talking. Like,
well, I mean, I do have to agree that I don't
like
know.
Sons of Anarchy, but I don't think he's been good in another thing that he's done ever. And apparently, this King Arthur movie is garbage.
Yeah, well, I've heard, opposing takes on it. I've heard the movie's good. It's just not doing well in theaters.
I don't know. Everybody that I've heard from that actually saw it says that you don't need to see it. It's not good.
Okay.
Apparently, they were setting it up to be like a trilogy of movies, and the studio nixed that at the last minute, and it's just all jammed together. And
okay, well, that explains it then.
Yeah, apparently it's atrocious. My brother went and saw it, and he is a huge Guy Ritchie fan, and he said that it was nigh unwatchable.
Oh wow!
He said he almost walked out. So I said almost. That doesn't count, I guess. But like, yeah, I sat there and finished my popcorn.
Have any of you ever walked out of a movie before?
Yes. Yeah, I walked out of Hope Float, and I walked out of Practical Magic, which is the worst movie in the history of movies.
I actually walked out of the Da Vinci Code because the book is so much better.
That movie's boring.
I came drastically close to throwing my Coke at the screen during what's that movie, Noah, with Russell Crowe in it or whatever.
Oh yeah, that movie's horrible.
Yeah, I came. The only thing that stopped me was I paid too much for the Coke to throw it at the screen. So
$10 for a Coke.
Yeah, they managed to make Noah a murderer and all this kind of stuff, and then all this stuff with this. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
Captain Dadpool asked, "Did you guys hear about the monster movie universe? Isn't the Mummy gonna start that off?"
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, apparently Luke Cage season 2, Mike Coulter is hopeful for an early 2018 premiere. Is anybody excited for Luke Cage season 2?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll watch it, but I didn't really care for the first season.
I thought it was the weakest of the 4.
Yeah,
I couldn't get through it.
I thought that and Iron Fist were the weaker of the 4.
At least Iron Fist had consistent action throughout. Luke
Right.
Cage kind of dipped. Like spoiler alert, they killed off Cottonmouth, and then nothing happened for like 3 episodes, and then they moved on to the end game, and it didn't need to be that long. The story did definitely didn't need to be that long.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Okay, the next story I have is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson teases possible Black Adam debut before his solo film. He said it's definitely going to happen. Sure, we've had great conversations with Jeff Johns and everyone over at DC. It's an exciting time right now for everyone at DC because they are in a process now where they are building out their DC universe really nicely. We have a really cool surprise for Black Adam that I can't reveal in terms of where we will see Black Adam being introduced. But I think somebody had could we see him pop up in Justice League? Perhaps this is too soon, but another comment that Johnson made could be additional evidence for this. He went on to talk about an on-screen showdown between himself and Superman is in the works. He said, one fine day that's coming, that's in the cards. I don't think he's going to be in Justice League. I think he's going to be in Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, that's what I read, but I don't remember where I read it. So,
you guys think he would be a good choice for the villain or whatever of Man of Steel 2?
honestly, I think you save it for Shazam, but they seem to want The Rock, and he seems to want to do it. So, I'll watch it. Sure.
Yeah.
As long as
What do
Zack
you think,
Snyder's
Mike?
not directing it.
Oh, I don't know, for a Superman movie, like Shazam, like you guys said.
But he would be the perfect villain for Superman because Superman has the invulnerability to magic.
Yeah, but have they established that yet? Is that would be the storyline would be? I don't know.
No.
I don't know if I'd be excited for that. I think that
This could be how Superman finds that out about himself, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I just prefer they do more cosmic Superman stuff, like alien threat kind of stuff.
yeah, I was actually hoping it'd be a Brainiac, but maybe,
yeah.
Brainiac.
especially if you've been playing Injustice 2, Brainiac. We want Brainiac.
I just think he's such a good comedic actor that the whole time I'm going to be watching him, I'm going to be thinking what he's cooking. I'm smelling what he's cooking, so I don't know. I don't know if I could take him as a
I think Alex is just hungry.
I am kind of hungry right now. There's brownies upstairs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, brownies.
I'm going to get in on that when this is over.
I haven't had a carb in 5 weeks, so.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I'm gonna have some for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Like a brownie sandwich.
Our next story jumps off the superhero train for a minute. Mike, you might like this one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel Leatherface coming for Halloween.
Hell yeah.
New still from Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel shows a young Leatherface looking for a tool. And it says, to all our Leatherface fans out there, the movie will be released in October. Hashtag Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm trying to find the plot. Says Leatherface will serve up the origin story. A teenage Leatherface in the 70s lives in a mental institution until he escapes with a pack of fellow patients. The 4 teens kidnap a young nurse and go on the run, pursued by a deranged lawman bent on revenge.
What's it say?
It kind of
What's it say on the kid's back?
follow me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm kind of skeptical about it after I read that because that reminds me of that horrible, well, really horrible. It was okay, but that Rob Zombie Halloween remake, Halloween 2, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but here's a speculation pick for y'all, you guys. I like to do that kind of stuff. James Gunn wants to use Annihilus as a villain in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And he said that I think there's a good chance that if we had all those characters, I really like the character of Annihilus, and there's a chance that I would have done Annihilus as a villain in one of the movies.
I'm down.
That's
I
a
don't know
Fox
nothing about
property,
it.
though, right? That's a Fantastic Four villain, isn't it?
Unless Marvel gets the rights back, which is what I'm been hearing. I've read somewhere that there's a theory that with this whole legacy thing that's going to be coming back, that they've worked out a deal to get the Fantastic Four rights back, and that's how they're going to reset it.
Well, I seriously hope so, but I'm not convinced that Simon Kinberg isn't working on some stupid Fantastic Four Fantastic 2. Who knows?
Well, he was. It was reported that they was wanting to reboot that with the same cast.
Right. As soon as last month, he said, "I love that cast," and that cast was terrible. That cast was awful.
He said he wanted to do that with that cast, but everyone that was in that cast turned it down.
Right. Well, let's hope that never happens. Michael B. Jordan's terrible. I can't stand that kid.
All right. Well, let's go on. This dropped the other day. Robert Zemeckis, Matthew Vaughn, and Sam Raimi are the top picks for the Flash directing job.
Why can't they find somebody to direct this movie? It's a solid TV property. It's in a burgeoning universe where it's going to make $100 million no matter how terrible it is. Why won't anybody make this movie? Why are they having a hard time?
They're waiting on getting. These are the three they want, and they're trying to go after Robert Zemeckis because here you go. Justin Kroll from I think it was Variety expands on this. He says a couple of quick flash items. Zemeckis actually met in early April on this, and the Marwan Call conflict looked to be a deal breaker with Warner Brothers. For Vaughn, Matthew Vaughn, I've heard his name way too much over the past week for there not to be interest. As of now, he has a no-go movie on the slate, so he could go. Then he says, for Vaughn, I've heard the name. Okay, that said, all the noise could be a play by him and his team to force Fox to blink on Third Kingsman ahead of Golden Circle's release. Then he says, I can confirm about Warner Brothers possibly pushing for Bob, but want to see if things work with either Matt. He said, I've heard Raimi, but hearing balls in Bob's and Matt's court. So I think they want Matthew Vaughn and Robert Zemeckis, and they're trying to wait and push it back till they can get who they want, instead of just like rushing it out, which I'm glad they're doing that.
I don't know. I think a Sam Raimi Flash would probably be pretty good, but
yeah,
I don't know if it would match the tone of what anything they've set forth so far. We'll see if they can do something completely different and have it mesh still with the same universe.
Okay, and I'm for the record, I'm down for any of them. I personally would rather Matthew Vaughn do Man of Steel 2, though.
Yeah, I don't know if Matthew Vaughn's going to do anything but Kingsman for a little while. It seems like the second one's going to be pretty good, and they'll probably greenlight a third one before or right after its release. So I don't know if he's going to have time to really be doing a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, but I'm down for any of them, to be honest with you. Robert Zemeckis, Sam Raimi. We'll go on to the next. Mike, you might want to put down the controller for this one.
Don't judge me. Got to get that to Injustice in.
James Wan shares our first look at Mara and Aquaman. And as we just gaze in her beauty, what does everybody think about this?
Do you really want to know?
We're live on YouTube, Mike, so tame it down.
She looks beautiful. That's all.
She looks great. Drew, what do you say?
That's definitely on point. I think it's the best looking costume they've shown so far, and she's gorgeous.
Alex?
I think between her and Wonder Woman, I think they're getting the costumes right. I like, Mara for sure. I mean, that costume is spot on with the comics, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, I forgot I was going to pull up the picture, but there is a picture that Jeff Johns retweeted of her, Amber Heard, in the makeup chair getting made up for this, and she's reading the Aquaman New 52 trade paperback, and Jeff Johns put hashtags on it. It was hashtag he hashtagged Ivan Reese, and he hashtagged the trench. So that pretty much tells me the trench. When they, I think I reported on this last week about James Wan bringing creepy crawlers or whatever, creepy dynamics or whatever in there into it. But Alex gave me the segue of all segues, and I just want to take this time to say I told you so. Warner Brothers lifted the embargo on social media reactions for the screening they had for Wonder Woman, and let's just catch up. Loved Wonder Woman. She reminds me of Christopher Reeve's Superman, true north with no angst or cynicism, which is needed right now. Easily the best DCU, and best of the DCU, and I liked Man of Steel as part Captain America: The First Avenger and part Fish Out of Water, Thor 1. He says Godot and Pine have great, funny banter together. The backdrop of World War I is bleak, but the characters never are. I rooted for them. And not really review, but reaction after reaction is just gushing over this movie. Joe Blow says our own Jimmy O has seen Wonder Woman. He calls it fantastic, as touching as it is thrilling. Full review soon. Steve Weintraub from Collider, the people that hate DC. Happy to report Wonder Woman is a blast and Gal Gadot is fantastic. Her chemistry with Chris Pine is magnetic. Absolutely recommended. And it just goes on and on. Best part of Wonder Woman is the film has really funny parts and an optimistic and heroic protagonist. Great step forward for DC films. And we can just keep scrolling down. Wonder Woman is hands down the best DCU film to date. Film is so good. I absolutely loved it. Bravo, Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, and Jeff Johns. Which, him tagging Jeff Johns confirms, like I said all along, that Jeff Johns was going to be DC's Kevin Feige, and he's writing the ship. What do you guys think about this?
I'm definitely more excited to see it now than I was before. But one good film does not a universe make, so I'll have to wait and see how Justice League does too. I think that this could be a good step in the right direction, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it when I really didn't care too much about it just a day ago.
Mighty LJ says, "Yeehaw! I can hardly wait."
I share her sympathies with that. I would definitely be there on the very first night they showed in my town. I'm over the moon for this. I pretty much called it all along that this was going to be the one to right the ship, because people laughed at me when I was in Dallas and I was at that Q&A, and somebody said something about the films not being as good as the Marvel films and stuff. And Jim Lee said that I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with Wonder Woman. And everybody that I told that to was like, what do you expect him to say? He's one of the heads of DC. Now I see why he said that, because I think Patty Jenkins. I think this is going to be a huge movie because it's the first big female-led Wonder Woman. Like a female action superhero movie or whatever I'm trying to say. It's directed by a woman, and
What about Elektra?
Yeah, but Elektra was a bomb, man.
I know. I'm just kidding.
What about Catwoman?
Yeah, Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman was a bomb too.
I'm glad to see good reviews, because if there weren't good reviews tied with the fact that it is a female-led, which is unfortunate that it is that way, because I'm excited to see it as well. But if there were mediocre reviews and even some bad reviews, I mean, the movie wouldn't have done very well, even though it's a huge movie. So I'm glad to see that the reviews are good. Gal Gadot was honestly, for Batman v Superman, she was absolutely charming in the movie. And I thought she was a treat. As many flaws as there were in that movie, I thought all the scenes with her in it were a treat for me. I think she's going to do awesome. And this is definitely getting me more pumped up about the movie for sure.
I also want to point out, for all the people who hate Zack Snyder, A, cast Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, B, designed the costume, and C, helped write the story for the Wonder Woman movie. So
she's perfect for it, because she can be pretty fierce and at the same time be, like I said, charming. I mean, she can be very innocent and charming in those scenes in the trailer where she's, doesn't understand how the world works, how this portion of her world works, being in the real world, and kind of
Dude,
naive to that. And so I think
that-
it's, like I said, it's awesome.
I'll tell you that part in Batman vs Superman when Doomsday hits her and she slides back and she wipes her chin and gets up and smiles.
Yeah, absolutely. And
That
goes
had-
right back into it.
Yeah. Goes and she tells what was it? Was it Superman or Batman? She told I've killed things from other worlds before.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely over the moon for this. I'm pretty sure everybody thought I would be though. But that's pretty much all I have for my Trinity Superhero Cinema. I put everybody into the Matrix right there. But anybody else got anything to say? Let's check up on the chat. Let's see.
That's kind of died off. Mighty LJ, Jason, Count Von Strange is still hanging out. Captain Dadpool.
Lunchbox.
Batman's up in there. We got 11 people watching.
It's good though. It was a fun show.
Actually, Jason said the T is silent and Gal Gadot. No, it ain't, because I heard herself pronounce it that way. So I actually thought it was Gal Gadot too until I just today or yesterday I've seen her. She was talking about she's actually thrown her back out doing something. I guess stunts for something else.
Oh yeah.
Mike could turn anything dirty, man.
All I said was, "Oh yeah."
Lunchbox Batman, glad to have you here. He said we need Daredevil. I don't know what that means.
That was back when we were talking about
Luke Cage.
Yeah, Luke Cage.
Oh yeah, Daredevil is definitely the best of the Marvel Netflix shows, in my opinion. Yeah, Jason. Jason said, "Oh, yeah, I didn't mean to call you out or anything. I thought the same thing you did, that it was Gal Gadot, but then I heard her pronounce it. I was like, I'm gonna start saying Gal Gadot now."
Splash
But, hey,
page.
what's up? Yeah, Splash Page, Mr. White Gloves. But that's pretty much all I got. Anybody got anything else they want to add? Any shout outs they want to give?
I have some shout outs. I have a lot of shout outs actually.
Get on with it, Mikey.
First off, I want to shout out Area 51. I recently won a contest of his, and he sent some great prizes. So if you're not subbed to Area 51, go check him out. Havoc Comics, Christian over at Havoc Comics. I recently won a contest of his and sent some great prizes. So go check out Havoc Comics if you haven't already. And of course, one of our guest panel members, Drew Manchu over there. I won one of his contests, and he hooked it up. Thank you, brother.
Oh, it took me like 3 months to send you that shit. So.
Oh man, it's it was awesome. Anyway, and the awesome Adolin show won her contest. Yeah, I've been winning a lot of contests lately, and I've just been lucky, I guess. And of course, Alex for coming out, hanging with us last minute. So that's all I got.
I'm happy to be here. Hey, I've got a few shout outs. There's a new YouTuber that reached out to me. The name is Operation Pop Culture from Australia. I think they've got about, let me see, just a few subs, 13 maybe, 14 subs. So check them out, Operation Pop Culture. The Beyond the Blast Door is a Star Wars podcast. Like I said earlier, he's a guy from my hometown, and he puts a lot of work into editing his videos. So it's really good quality stuff, and his delivery is real smooth. And then thank you guys for having me on, all you guys. Also a shout out to 9.2 crew. So
Oh yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
All right, Drew, you got any shout outs to give? Or?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Excited.
Drew Winfrey.
Yeah, man. Excited to come back and share my unpopular opinions about the button and ramble on about these nonsense books. But really had a good time. Shout out to all you guys for having me. Shout out to Huey for taking the night off. Shout out to Midwest for getting sick. Thanks, brother. I guess gives me a chance to shine. I
He
hope you feel better.
actually dropped the table on his toe. So
Oh, Jesus.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, hope your toe feels better. Be
So
careful.
if you see a strange man wandering around with a So Comics mustache and a cooler with a toe in it, you know that's probably Paul.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for having me back.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give shout outs to Drew and Alex for being able to come on last minute here. I think we just hit them up today.
yeah, because if it was just me and Jeremy, this wouldn't have went well. So
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have had a show tonight if it wasn't for these guys. So shout out to them. Give a shout out to Paul and Dave, as always. You know, we try to step in and take over for them while they go do the family thing or they drop tables on their toes and get hurt. But I also want to give a shout out to, I know everybody's probably heard of this channel before, but I'm going to shout them out, Comic Trips. If you don't watch Comic Trips, you're missing out. They just ended their 7th season and they're starting to film their 8th season. But they recently did a video where they was, or Paul was transferring all his books over into a file cabinet, was lateral file cabinets. And now I'm on the feverish hunt for a lateral file cabinet because it looks so good and it like looks more professional than just a bunch of random boxes laying around, you know.
All right, those could be expensive, man.
Yeah. But shout out to everybody in the chat, Splash Page, Jason Smith, Super Sarah. Let's go back in time up here and shout out Bruce Zayas, Count Von Strange, man. Count Von Strange was on here. He was good in Friday Night Lights. I don't know what that means, but he said it.
Michael B. Jordan, I think he was talking about.
Okay.
And no, he wasn't. That's when the show went downhill.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I happen to say on the Michael B. Jordan thing, I liked him in that movie Creed, but
Creed was okay, but it was better because of Sly, in my opinion.
yeah. But just shout outs to everybody in the chat. Like Alex always calls me Trinity Winfrey subs, everybody. Splash Page, look under your seat. There's a sub for you. But, everybody, just remember, whether you blast it or whether you stash it, love what you collect and collect what you love. Later, guys.
what was it?